Next curve.
Hey everyone, this is Leonard Lee, Executive Analyst at NextCurve, and I'm here with my good friend
Anurag Agrawal from Techaisle.
Yes, and of course this is the NextCurve podcast, and it's always great to hang out with my good friend Anurag, and we're here at Cisco Partner Summit 2025 here in my hometown
San
of
Diego.
San Diego.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is where all tech conferences should take place. No more Las Vegas.
I agree with that, actually. I completely agree. And by the way, I think this is the third conference that Cisco is having this year in San Diego.
Yeah.
They had their Cisco Live.
Yeah.
They had their WebEx One.
Yep.
And now they are having their Cisco Partner Summit here.
Yeah, and according to some rumors out there, Jeetu Patel, who is the president and chief product officer, likes San Diego. So, Jeetu, thumbs up to that.
Oh,
right?
that's cool. Yes.
But we just heard that next year this event is going to be in Vancouver. But hopefully, all Cisco events will be here in San Diego as they should be. But
absolutely, there is no casinos, no smoke walking through the hotel lobbies. Outside weather is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no ridiculously priced lattes. Like $16 lattes, no thank you. But hey, we've been here for 2 days so far.
Yep.
And so what are your key impressions of the event? I mean, this is your world, right? This is your world, partners, channels. And
it's true. And I think one of the most important things that has come across in this event is the elevation of Tim Coogan to become the Chief Partner Officer, right? I mean, he's the Global Partner Head of Sales. And I think he's bringing in a completely new energy to the partner program.
Yep.
Ably being supported by Elizabeth the Doubler. And above all, the Cisco Partner 360 program is coming to life.
Yeah.
It was announced about a year and a half ago. It has been on a journey. There have been many ups and downs.
Right.
And I think this year we saw that, well, it is about 90 days away from official launch.
Yeah, wow. I know, it's a big deal, and they've been making a big deal about it here. And they've also been launching a number of tools, right? Partner enablement tools that seem to be based on some of the AI frameworks that they've been developing, with, I think it's called the AI Assistant for partners.
Correct. So Alex Puhal has been tasked with building certain enablement tools for the partner community, which includes, partner learning journey, to be able to really understand where the partners are in the life cycle of the customer and their incentive programs, understanding what's their paths to profitability. So there are many different tools. I mean, I think Cisco is one of the companies which is really trying to take advantage of AI and AI agents to really enable their partners, and in effect what I call as the empowerment of the partners to really drive business growth and profitability.
They introduced AI Canvas Live this year, and it looks like they're platformizing it, platformization, right? That's like a big term that everyone's using. But being able to leverage that across not only the customer products that they're developing, but also leveraging that in their partner enablement capabilities and tools.
Absolutely, right? And I think it's both for the customer and the partners, because I mean, AI Canvas was announced earlier this year, but when you start to look at it, it's a pretty big deal. Let's talk about an example of a typical customer, right? If the CEO's call goes bad, who is to blame? Is it the collaboration application? Is it the device? Is it the network? Is it the firewall? Or is it some sort of a security incident, right? In the past, the end customers or their partners used to take days to find the root cause of the problem and fix it, only to find it happen again. But with an AI Canvas, it becomes a multiplayer collaboration opportunity, right? which is really essential because now the security and the network and the collab team and everybody else can look at the same data at the same time simultaneously, identify the issues and fix it, and AI-driven answers. Now, think about this, that this becomes a golden opportunity for the partners themselves.
Right.
Not only to kind of enable their own partner interaction or partner intimacy with Cisco, but also can they use this AI canvas in a multi-tenant environment to really manage a bunch of customers in a managed service environment.
Yeah, so a lot of interesting applications that they're building on top of AI Canvas, or what looks like it. I mean, they didn't quite call it out, but based on some of the demos that they showed, it has similarities to what we're seeing across the product portfolio and how AI Canvas is expressing itself. But I have a one-on-one with DJ Sampath tomorrow, so
that would be nice.
Look out, buddy! I'm coming after you.
Absolutely. I mean, he's one of the great guys, and I think you should talk about this unified edge. You know, I mean, I think it's a pretty big deal, right? Yeah. What they announced.
Yeah, it is, and it's interesting because it is it's curious because this is Cisco kind of getting into compute.
Yeah.
But what they announced is a hyper-converged appliance.
Yep.
Right? It's modular. It combines compute, storage, networking, right?
Yeah.
And then it also security embedded. And it's fantastic. It's like really interesting, and it's totally geared toward campus branch type applications, enterprise and industrial applications, right? And so I mean, they just announced it. Edge AI, it's a nascent domain, right? Enterprise AI, and it's something that I talked to G2 about last night at the reception. This is largely a can being kicked down the road, and this is an interesting timing for this unified edge solution because this can place Cisco in the middle of that discussion, or at least it's a seed that they've planted, right? And
we just met with every angle. Both you and I met with one of Cisco's partners. And they're very excited about this unified edge opportunity, right? AI,
as you know, I mean, I told G2 I'm an AI pragmatist, but he probably thinks I'm an AI pessimist, right? Based on a lot of the stuff that I write and how I talk about some of what's going on LinkedIn and social channels. But we have to be practical about all of this stuff, and I think there's some definite grounding when you start to talk to some of the product leads in G2's group. There's just really a lot of substantial thinking. They're really thinking through some of the problems, and that doesn't necessarily always surface in the marketing rhetoric, right? They have to at some point be able to deliver all of this stuff in a way that is consumable by the customer, that's truly demanded by the customer. You're not pushing on the string, you're actually seeing some pull through from the customer based on actual value realized through the application of generative AI in particular, right?
There are other things we should also talk about, right? The one Cisco story. It is a great structural advantage that Cisco has, right? Because they have got the networking, they have got the security and so on and so forth, right? And that story is extremely powerful and it is coming to life. And Oliver is pretty excited about that, right? Oliver is the new global sales head. He's pretty excited. He's got his sales force completely fired up. Is Cisco a client zero of its own AI solution, right? It is, you see that in their customer success organization, which is led by Liz Santoni, right? She has put together a fantastic engineering team, which is delivering almost real-time information, right?
Yeah.
And what they rolled out was
IQ.
IQ.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the big announcement.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, so Cisco IQ.
Yeah.
And that is really that embodiment of a lot of the AI tools that they're bringing to bear based on AI Campus.
Yeah.
I think probably more. I mean, we don't know the details of it, but it's definitely something that they're looking to roll out and make available to the partners. The other thing, I mean, to your point about Cisco, the one Cisco, everybody seems to be doing a one XYZ, right? But it is a tough journey. And actually, way back in my early days of consulting, I was actually working with Cisco on some of these initiatives, going from a hardware to a software company. But then, because that was the thing that was in vogue at the time. But now making these transitions toward becoming a solutions company, or more of a solutions or systems oriented company, where you're bringing the hardware business model and the software business model and service business models together. That's really challenging. And this 360 initiative, from a partner's perspective, that's even more challenging, right? And so it's not a trivial transformation that they're going through. And as you and I have seen, a lot of their peers are going through similar kind of reinvention. And man, it's going to be it's a tough journey, but
it is a tough journey, and I think a lot of peers or competitors are going through it as well. Cisco is further along in terms of partner program. Jeetu calls it Cisco is the AI infrastructure company. That's an important point to really talk about, right? How is it able to achieve that? It's not going to be an easy task, right?
Yeah.
The Cisco 360 is a step in that direction, because it's not only impacting Cisco's transformation, it will impact partners' transformation, right?
Yeah.
For many, many years, one has been talking about that the partner has to go through a business transformation, because no longer they have to be selling seats and endpoints. They have to be moving on from transactional to service oriented.
Yeah.
And within CX organization, they talked about the premier services, right? There are a lot of incentives and things like that. Yeah. So the way I see it is that this Partner 360 or Cisco 360 program is an economic blueprint and a call to the partners to actually go through that transformation. And find that path to profitability that they so desire.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be important for the partners to.
And this is my first time at the event, so I can really appreciate a lot of the nuanced challenges that the partners face, that Cisco faces, and it's all good stuff. I mean, this stuff is not easy, and again, appreciation, and it's interesting to see how they're managing and leading through this journey, because it's not a trivial one. You mentioned the AI infrastructure. That's fine, dandy, but not everything is going to be AI infrastructure. A lot of what we're talking about with AI infrastructure is a lot of that hyperscale, massive compute up in these massive data centers everyone's investing in. But there's all the enterprise stuff, and I think that's really where, if Cisco's not careful, they lose their identity and lose the focus, because there's more brownfield out there. Yeah. The big question is something that I teed up with G2 is, where's the enterprise AI bit?
Yeah.
Because nobody likes to talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
And that really is like what you're saying. It's the on-prem, but it's more nuanced than that, right?
Yeah.
Because when you look at the enterprise environment, the infrastructures, it's very different. And when we talk about enterprise, there's this conflation to say, hey, edge, enterprise, but it's all about enterprise grade AI, but bringing it into the organization. And how do you secure it? How do you make it trustworthy? How do you make it reliable and safe?
I think there is one more area which I would have loved Cisco to really talk about, is before enterprises really start to adopt AI, they really need to understand, how do I start? Where do I start, right?
Yeah.
So I wish Cisco had talked about some sort of a services or advisory services as to how they are enabling their partners or themselves as to what that start line looks like for that end customer, right?
Yeah.
Because they talked a lot about product, they talked about a lot about, post-sale services, they talked a lot about security and so on and so forth. But before you actually get there, what's that path to that start line?
Yeah.
I think it's important, which many of the other large-scale infrastructure vendors are talking about, right?
Yeah, they're talking about, but I don't think anyone's really doing a great job. I mean, quite honestly, I think they're still largely trying to figure it out. And so that's where I've been kind of challenging them on the thought leadership front in terms of, bringing out some of the learnings that they have, kind of drinking their own champagne with this stuff, and then packaging that into viable and actually consumable AI solution patterns. And so, it's tough. And I think what's happening is the industry is starting to find that it has to unlearn a lot of the things that it learned about AI, which were fundamentally wrong. And so that ends up taking time. It's going to take time because the reason why we have all these initiatives and POCs is because people started off with the wrong assumptions. That's what happens. I mean, it's not a new thing. We've seen it through all these hype cycles, and we're seeing it again with generative AI. And it's probably at a scale beyond what we've seen before, just because the level of misconception about the technology is so pervasive and dramatic, quite honestly. It's not an easy technology, but everyone thought it was magic. And you're now learning that it's not magic, and that could be a really sobering activity.
It is true. I think everybody is still trying to find that elusive ROI. Right. How do you achieve that, and when do you achieve that? I think that's important too.
But I think Cisco has some important bits and pieces. It'll be good to see how they stitch this stuff together into a fabric of value that actually starts to gel into.
Yes, and I think having watched Cisco for a number of years, right? I think they have invested a lot in the speed of innovation. We can see that now, both on the product and the solutions roadmap. And now the world is entering into an outcomes first era, and Cisco is actually trying to position itself to deliver those outcomes, both the business outcomes and the technical outcomes, the technical outcomes for the ITDMs, the business outcomes for the BDMs. I think the new Cisco's transformation or the test or the metric or the measurement that I will watch is how quickly it is able to move into that outcomes first era.
Really well put. And on that note, hey, it's really great to be here with you in San Diego. Hopefully there will be many more occasions where you're here in San Diego and we're hanging out. And maybe more vendors that decide to hold their tech conferences here. But wonderful to have you.
Happy to be here too. Great to be with you, man.
And everyone, make sure to reach out to Anurag, connect with his company, Techaisle. They are like at the forefront of SMB, research. And of course, follow NextCurve at www.next-curve.com and check out our Substack. And we're reporting live here from Cisco Partner Summit 2025, and we'll see you next time.
Wonderful.
Bye.
Thank you, man.